The origins of Itai Itai began in the spring of 1945 after Japan surrendered in World War II. Japan began to focus on reconstructing the country and set a lofty goal to become a world leader in production and technology. In just 5 short years, Japan became an economic force, with rising household names like Toyota, Nissan, and Sony. Japan had little thought on how their newfound mass production would affect their environment. While Japan's leaders celebrated in their success, an ominous raging storm was brewing in the Kamioka mine. The Mitsui Mining and Smelting Company was a large contributor to Japan's success in making quality products. The Mitsui Mining and Smelting Company was responsible for mining a chemical named cadmium that was utilized as a polishing agent and utilized in batteries. Cadmium is very dangerous to the human body and can be poisonous if it is breathed in or consumed. The Mitsui Mining Company took special consideration in keeping their miners safe, but completely disregarded the neighboring areas. We spoke with Tara Dickinson, an environmental health and safety specialist that worked on the Jinsu River cleanup, about what exactly was going on at the Kamioka mines.
What was happening was that the Kamioka mines were contaminating the Jinsu River with the runoff that had cadmium in it. Rice farmers in the Toyama Basin fully relied on the Jinsu River to fill their rice paddies with water. In result, the rice paddies had become enriched with cadmium and the rice absorbed the cadmium into itself, resulting in hundreds of people becoming poisoned.
The people in the Toyama Basin not only relied on the river for their rice paddies, but also for everyday use such as cooking, cleaning, and bathing. The river was so highly valued that its name translates to the river of God passing along. The residents did not consider the river to be dangerous, so it was a shock when the village began to ring with the screams of their loved ones, neighbors, and friends. Individuals affected by a tai, which translates to it hurts, would not be able to move without their bones breaking and were not able to breathe without excruciating pain.
Dr. Christine Vasquez, a medical professional at Harvard University, spoke with us about the effects cadmium has on the body.
How serious is cadmium to the human body?
So the thing about cadmium is that cadmium latches onto the plasma in your bloodstream and it stays in your body for as long as 16 years. So if you're exposed to cadmium multiple times, then you're increasing the amount of cadmium in your body, and when you take a highly consumed product like rice, you're even tripling that effect.
How did cadmium poisoning affect those who were poisoned?
So cadmium poisoning causes damage to organ function, such as the liver and the kidneys. It does often cause diarrhea and vomiting, and it's commonly associated with some form of bone disease. So a good friend of mine, Dr. Noboru Hajina, noticed an increase in people coming in that was diagnosed with osteoporosis and osteomalacia and renal tubule dysfunction. And it was a really high amount for the Tomoya Basin area. So as time went on, Dr. Agino started seeing patients that had extreme osteomalacia, which is simply just softening of the bones, and it was extremely painful. That's actually what a tai means. And so there was about 200 cases, and half of those people died. So the remarkable thing was that the doctors and officials could not figure out why these people were getting sick.
So they didn't know that the Kamioka mines was polluting the water?
No, and it would take about 4 more years for the Ministry of Health and Welfare to figure it out.
The victims of the disease set up the task force on Itai disease to publicly take action against the Mitsui Mining and Smelting Company. Over 300 lawyers came together to present a lawsuit to the Mitsui Mining and Smelting Company on behalf of the 200 victims that were affected by the cadmium disaster. We talked to Anna Schumacher, who was one of the many researchers that analyzed the cadmium levels in the Jinsu River.
My team and I took water samples from multiple locations of the Jinsu River, and we took samples from the rice paddies as well. Our tests revealed that 35 kilograms of cadmium was being released per month into the water, and that did not even include the 5 kilograms that we knew was going into the air. At that point, to me, it was not a question about if it was the Mitsui Mining smelting company's fault, but why they let it happen for so long. Some of my colleagues would disagree, but in the end, there was no doubt.
Environmental Health and Safety Specialist Tara Dickinson spoke with us again about the cadmium cleanup.
At this point, my team, along with Anna's analytical research team, has started to take action in cleaning up the river and the Toyama Basin, where the rice paddies were originally located. The project started in 1973 when our teams in the smelting mining company was able to stop the flow of cadmium into the river. At that point, we were able to start restoring the rice paddy fields, and this was in about 1980.
That's so late. Why did it take 8 years?
Well, we had to prepare. We had the lawsuit going on, and we had to find the best method in order to clean it up and then allocate who was going to be paying for what.
When were the rice paddy fields completely clean of cadmium?
Unfortunately, it was a long project, and it wasn't until 2010.
We requested a statement from the Mitsui Mining and Smelting Company, but we were declined several times. The outbreak of Itai disease affects society today by creating awareness to the dangers of industrial pollution and consequences for citizens. Many health outbreaks could be avoided if policy was respected or created to protect important resources such as water. Corporations are often able to produce dangerous environmental pollutants, but are not held to the responsibility to those that are affected, whether those individuals experience the effects in the present or in the future. Corporations should be held responsible for the generation pollution they are possibly creating and take action immediately so that catastrophes like the Itai epidemic would never happen again.